So, not to be like a boomer on Maine or anything right now, but I'm sort of getting tired of TikTok. I've had a bit of a love-hate relationship with the app ever since it became mainstream, and while I think it's sort of gotten out of its infancy, and I think it's sort of silly when people are still like, oh, well, if you look at TikTok, if you watch TikTok, you're an idiot. I think it has sort of secured its reputation as a social media that the most arrogant and the most self-important people are gonna flock to. It's sort of like how hating on Reddit sounds silly, but hating on Redditors is not only fair most of the time, it's needed. I feel like that's where TikTok's at right now, and today is a great example of that. As a member of a notoriously annoying niche of content creators, I have my opinions on my competitors. And when I say competitors, I mean those in the running for the title of the most insufferable kind of content creator on the internet. Now look, don't get me wrong, I realize that the average commentary YouTuber is generally not looked upon in the highest regard, but I feel like there is one other kind of influencer, one other kind of content creator that just squeaks past us and takes the crown. And those are gym influencers. Now I'm very purposefully here saying gym influencer and not gym content creator, because I think more so than in any other niche, when it comes to like fitness and gym stuff, there is a huge gap between people who call themselves a gym content creator and a gym influencer. And I feel like the average self-identified gym influencer has got to be one of the most insufferable people on the planet. If you go to the gym, it has genuinely turned into sort of an epidemic. Now look, don't get me wrong, as a content creator, I'm never gonna like hate on somebody for trying to find their way into content creation on social media, but you can't walk into any gym these days without seeing 15 tripods and a bunch of people who think that it's their right to have an undisturbed filming session in a public gym. The gym, more so than any other public space, I think, has basically been turned into like a mobile content house. It seems like no matter where you are, no matter what city you live in, no matter what state you live in, whether you go to a public gym like Planet Fitness or a hardcore private powerlifting gym, there's always going to be somebody trying to make it big in your local gym. And if that's all they were trying to do, that's fine. But the problem is that most of these so-called gym influencers want to treat public spaces like a private recording studio. And it leads to shit like this. This is a video of a TikToker who's recently gone viral for berating a woman for committing the heinous federal offense of being in the background of her shitty gym TikTok. And in true gym influencer fashion, after a lot of people have called her out for this, she's doubled down and has remained adamant that it's perfectly normal to tell a person who's working out in a public gym where they can and can't work out, and that anybody who says different is just a hater. This is not like a big thing or a big deal. I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't heard of this, because in the grand scheme, this lady is sort of a nobody in the world of influencers. She has like 1,500 followers, but I like making fun of stupid people on this channel, so you know what? Here we are. Let's not waste any more time. Let's begin. Please subscribe. So, is doing the world's silliest exercises like a prerequisite to being a shitty gym influencer like this? What are we doing? Dumbbell pullovers supersetted with weightless hip thrusts? That's gotta be a first. Just 3 straight sets of tomfoolery. Also, I really like this stupid caption, gym etiquette lesson number 47, don't photobomb the content creator. What are these people expecting? Like, genuinely. Like, either build a home gym to make your content, or shut up. Like, do they think that having a person in the background of a public gym is going to distract a viewer? I don't know why these gym influencers have set this standard for themselves. Can you imagine any other content creator doing that? Like an IRL streamer wanting nobody else on the street or nobody else in a restaurant? Like, you're in a public space. What do you think it's taking away from the video?
Because you're annoying.
It's truly fascinating to me how big of a glimpse into somebody's life you can get from just being able to watch an interaction that probably accounts for what, like 0.0000001% of their life? Like in the grand scheme, this is nothing. It's a 1 minute long interaction, but it tells you so much about this person. It's incredible. Why are you standing there? You're annoying me. Can you imagine spending over 40 years on this planet and still somehow thinking that is an appropriate thing to say to a random person in a public space? And it's one thing to just be willing to say that to a person, but to also record it and post it onto the internet thinking everyone's going to agree with you? Insane work.
Yes.
I truly just cannot comprehend where these people get their gall. So not only are you proud to walk up to somebody and say, hey, why are you standing in my shitty TikTok? But once they move, which I think if I was in this position, I'd just camp out right here, you still have the audacity to tell them where to be. You want to dictate where everybody is in the gym, regardless of whether or not they're in your camera shots. You just want to be ruler of the world. What a child. The classic I got in the last word, and also I was the loudest, so I won this interaction strategy. It's a method often used by elementary school-aged children, but I guess 40-year-olds can do it too. Now, it would be bad enough if this was the only video that this lady had ever uploaded, but as I'm sure you can guess, it's not. After that one went viral, she uploaded this one calling anybody who called her out for her childlike shitty behavior a hater. And honestly, I'm surprised that she was even able to focus on her chin-ups throughout this video because, I mean, the pavement and the trees in the background are rudely photobombing this TikTok. You'd think she would have had something to say about that. But as soon as I saw this video, you know, once I realized that she thought this behavior was actually normal and acceptable, I was like, there's no way this is the only time this has ever happened. So I went down sort of a rabbit hole, and sure enough, there are multiple TikToks on her account where similar things to the one that just went viral happen, and she has a similar reaction. There's this one where she's doing another goofy ass exercise. I don't even really know what this is supposed to be. I guess like the world's least efficient and most complicated lat pull down maybe, but this guy's just walking around in the background, and for some reason she starts to call him Kevin Hart. Makes absolutely no sense. There's also this one where she's just swinging a plate around, you know, some real premium content, something that definitely needs to be recorded, and some guy dare walks between her and her camera, and she gives him a face and a little hand gesture, and it's just like, who do you think you are? If this is like every other gym I've been to, I'm sure that she's got her phone set up like right on another bench press station, so she's not only taking up one bench to swing a fucking plate around her body, she's also taking up another one because her camera's right next to it, and she's gonna complain that somebody walks in the gym? It's like, holy fuck, why do gyms allow these people? Finally, there's this one where she gives the world's worst argument as to like, what's the proper etiquette when you see somebody recording in the gym.
Tell me who's wrong in this situation. Me for recording while I'm working out, or you for sitting there pretending not to watch me record myself working out?
Okie dokie. So not only does this lady believe that she should be able to tell anybody in the gym where to go, but she also thinks while she's making sort of a small scene, having a whole fucking filming setup in the gym with her, that nobody should look her way, that they aren't allowed to acknowledge that she's recording. Do you want people to look at you and realize you're recording so they can walk around you and avoid being in your camera shot? Or do you want them to ignore you? You really can't have both.
Me, right? No, not me. I'm actually exercising. I'm working out. What are you doing? You're just sitting there, watching me work out, fiddling with your phone, not exercising, but I should feel I'm the one who's wrong. I should feel wrong about myself. I'm the problem.
Jennifer, you should have rehearsed this one a few times because you're not even really coherent. Also, berating people for being on their phone and not working out while you are filming in the gym? Are you being serious? Is self-awareness just a lost art? Anyways, that's all the TikToks I really care to look at from this lady. I would say that this is a really bad look, you know, a really bad start for the beginning of your influencer career, but honestly, I don't know if that's accurate. Seems like this level of self-importance and arrogance is almost a requirement to be an influencer these days. Well, guys, what are your thoughts? Like I said, this is not not really like a big deal in the grand scheme. This lady's hardly even an influencer. But to me, it's still important to call out this dog shit behavior, even if it's just a small scale creator. Because the more people like this that go viral, the more desensitized we get to it, which leads to less people talking about it, less people saying, hey, don't do this. And eventually, people think it's cool to do. There will never come a day where you can walk into a public gym, set up a tripod, and start filming, and be the good guy if you get mad at somebody for being in the background. Jennifer, I hope you grow up. Crazy thing for a person half your age to have to tell you, but you need to hear it. Are you going to take that to heart? Absolutely not. If you ever see this in your mind, I'll just be a hater, but maybe one day you'll come around. See ya.